Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining again. In this exercise, we're going to go in and build another use case for our CrewAI. In the first one, if you remember, jumping back, we developed basically a crew that could go out and generate a newsletter on some recent stories in exploit development. In this one, we're going to do kind of the same thing, but to illustrate how easy it is to create your content. This one, we're going to generate a crew that goes out and obtains information on securing large language models and generates a blog post. So let's get into it. Up here, similar to before, I have some simple commands that you're going to have to go in and generate. Most importantly, this OpenAI API key. If you don't remember, go back and hit that first video that we discussed this in. In this next one, I typically in my collab like to specify the researcher and the writer. We could do an editor as well, but in this instance, just for the ease of showing it, illustrating it, what we're doing is we're going to just go ahead and utilize the researcher and the writer. We're going to give them the goals. So remember, our researcher is going to go out and generate and get all that content that we want for our blog post in recent advancements in securing LLMs. You're going to provide it the backstory, the search tool, which in this one is the DuckDuckGo search run tool that we utilize. It's easy to use, something, and one new iteration as compared to our previous video. I'm including the GPT-4o model because I like to utilize the cheaper tokens that are generating and getting it summarized. So with regards to, we have our writer as well that's going to go out and write an engaging story based upon the content that the researcher. And we're going to hit our little play button there. So we got everything there. Next thing is we're going to have to define the research or the different tasks. So we have our researcher task and our write task. And again, that's going to be, and I'm just going to go ahead and kick it off here so that it'll generate something by the end of when we get down there. So again, I got my research task here. We got the write task. We have a description for each of them, researching and identifying best practices, challenges in securing LLMs, writing a blog post. In both of these, I've also changed the GPT model. And then we got our crew here. We got the basically crew equals crew. The agents are the researcher and the writer. Tasks are the research task, write task. And now let's go in and start seeing what we are getting back from it on our topic of securing LLMs and generating a blog post. As we see, it's still continuing to go, but let's go and start going through what's happening. So started off with this query, and we see that the query advances a little bit, continues to get modified, gets altered, continually going back and forth. And as it's still continuing to generate new updated tasks with different contexts, queries, and it's just continuing to go out, reintegrate these different items that it's researching on and carefully considering and generating a different writing component with regards to it. So again, let's go back and just kind of take a quick look as this continually thinks about generating that blog post at the final piece of it. And just got the query, recent advancements, etc. So I'm going to hit pause on this. Actually, we don't have to necessarily hit pause as we're starting to get that blog post generated and created. So securing large language models, risks, advancements, best practices in the ever-evolving field. We have it continuing to just generate content upon content that it continually absorbs, reintegrates, and so forth. And again, this was all on ChatGPT 4.0 that we're using. We could also include editor. We could have used different agents and so forth. So again, this is quite something. And again, I think we'll hit the pause button here just so that I'll jump back in to show you what happened once we get there. So stay tuned. Hey everyone, when we left off, it was about the 3-minute mark. We're now at the 4-minute mark. That's where it completed. So just another minute. It finally generated our blog post that we were looking for, and you can see it here. Essentially, that it took and generated content. Now, one of the questions that you may be asking yourself, well, what happens if I want to go back and maybe regenerate this type of... What you would be able to do is elaborate in the description of what you're able to do. You can add some additional description, characteristics, techniques that you'd like to add included. You'll be able to maybe potentially go in and write out a little bit more with regards to the writer piece of it, of the backstory, and so you can continually play with all those different items to caress, to update, to modify what it's going out and doing. Serper Dev as well is one of those other tools where you can connect to Google. We did it in DuckDuckGo, but that's just something that you can be thinking about. So much appreciated for joining. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and thank you.